It all began on a day like any other. I was canvassing the streets, hoping to find a case, when I heard a peculiar sound. The sound was my cell phone. If my luck had picked up any, the phone would be a call from a client. Slick McQuick, PI, how can I be of service? No, I do not want to save money on my car insurance. Thank you very much. I decided to call it a day and headed back to my office, where my recent lack of business had forced me to spend my nights. But when I got to the door, I found something I didn't expect. Who's there?
The customer. I have work for you, if you'll take it, Dick.
Call me Slick. Dick is my profession. Slick Rick McQuick is my name. Say, how'd you get in here anyhow? I thought I locked the door when I left earlier. I always lock my door.
Does it really matter? I just wanted to talk, and surely you wouldn't let a little thing like that bother you.
It did bother me, but I was so exhausted I let her peculiar entrance slip. She looked harmless enough. Your typical damsel in distress. The job was simple enough. Locate a file containing valuable information that was stolen from her counter and return it before anyone noticed it was gone. Normally, I wouldn't jump into a job like this without discussing it in more detail first. The dangers, the pay, the travel expenses, but I needed the money, so before I could say anything that might frighten the dame away, I agreed to take the job. Little did I know what I was getting myself into. Before I let the dame leave my office, I made sure to jot down the basics. When and where she'd last seen the file, every step she'd taken from the time she'd last seen it to the time she'd noticed it missing. Any guests she might have had in her house, anyone she might have noticed acting oddly, her name. It was Rosie. Rosie LaFleur. I followed her to her house that night and waited for her to go to bed. My plan was to start at the scene of the crime and have a look around before any potential evidence could be erased. I didn't tell Rosie I was coming. I knew I'd be better off without her. A dame like this might have a pretty face. This one certainly did. But when it comes to detective work, a pretty face ain't worth the trouble it causes. Before I could investigate, I saw a man sneaking out the back door. I confronted him and asked him about the file and what he was doing at Rosie's. He claimed he knew nothing about any file and that he had returned to retrieve his keys after losing them doing some odd job around her house. His story sounded real fishy to me, but I had no choice but to let him go. My job was to retrieve the file, not take a man into custody. Still, I knew something was up, so I trailed him through the night, hoping that with any luck, he would lead me to Rosie's file. The next day, my pursuit of the mystery man had yielded nothing of interest, when suddenly he entered a secluded alley. A suspicious place to go if I ever saw one. Unfortunately, I couldn't get close enough to hear what the strange man was saying, but that didn't mean I was about to give up. I was quite certain that he would lead me to the file, one way or another. I could only hope I would recover it in time.
Alors?
C'est moi.
Bon. Avez-vous les dossiers?
Oui.
Bon. Et les passeports?
Oui.
Très bien. Quoi de billets d'air? Vous les avez?
Oui.
Et ma chemise favorite, c'est dans la valise, n'est-ce pas?
Oui.
Vous êtes absolument positif?
Oui.
C'est celui avec pas de poker et pas de string.
Oui. Je sais, c'est là.
C'est bon. Alors, tout est prêt, non?
Oui.
Bon. Maintenant, j'ai besoin de votre assistance avec quelque chose.
Oui.
Oui, il y a un homme bien armé qui faut rentrer. Je pense que le secret est bien compromis.
Non.
Oui.
Oui.
Oui, j'ai peur que c'est vrai. Maintenant, il me suit. Voyez qu'il n'arrive pas un peu plus près. Comprenez?
Oui.
C'est tout. Au revoir.
And so, the chase began. When I came to, I found myself in a pickle. And by pickle, I mean a dark room, presumably belonging to my captor. I don't like pickles.
You ready to answer some questions now? That's right. This time it's your turn to explain yourself. Let's see. What to ask? How about, who are you? And why were you following me?
I don't suppose you could just hand over the file and let me go? Alright. The name's Slick McQuick. I'm a private investigator. I was hired by Rosie LaFleur to return a stolen file of some sort. When I saw you sneaking out of her house, I put two and two together and assumed you were the thief.
You Americans have a saying, no? When you assume something, it's like you're an ass.
He obviously didn't know his sayings very well. Something like that. Hey, listen, can you at least untie my hands? It's not like I'm going anywhere with you pointing my gun at me. I didn't expect my captor to agree to my request, but I figured it was worth a try.
My apologies, Detective. I see my precautions were very unnecessary.
I wasn't sure how I was going to escape, but at least I could stretch out my arms. They were killing me.
You see, when you started asking about the file, I thought you were after it for yourself. Now that I know your side of the story...
So you admit you do have the file?
But of course, I have every right to have it.
But wait.
I came here for one purpose. And that is to make some money so I can open up a business in my home country. And so I've been very busy with odd jobs, just plumbing jobs for Miss LaFleur. I just received the okay from the corporate headquarters 2 days ago. They also sent me the recipe for a secret soda syrup. It's in this folder, which Miss LaFleur was after.
You mean...
That's right, Miss LaFleur was needing you to do her dirty work.
But how did she know you'd have the recipe?
She always asked me about how things were, and I thought she was just trying to be polite and make conversation. I must have mentioned my plans for the factory a dozen times. I guess I didn't realize how closely she was listening.
How did she know I'd run into you?
That's why she insisted I stay and work when she left the house. She was setting me up as your prime suspect. I probably had my fingerprints all over the counter. And even if you didn't find those, I'm sure she would have conveniently remembered my being there all alone. You running into me was just a coincidence.
What do we do now? We still have Rosie to deal with.
I just might have an idea.
Do you have the file? I couldn't tell from your phone message.
Yes, I have it, and I'll give it to you. But first, I want to tell you who had it.
I don't care.
Let me get this straight. Someone broke into your house and stole your file, and you don't care who it was?
All I care about right now is the file. If you want to fill me in some other day on how you got it, well, it's up to you.
Rosie had a one-track mind. She didn't suspect a thing. Whatever you say.
Listen, I just want to get this thing over with. You hand over the file and I'll give you the money, just like we agreed.
Yeah, just like we agreed. Yeah, just like we agreed. Well, here you go. Not so fast. Let's see this money first.
What? You don't trust me?
I don't trust anyone. It's just part of the profession. Nothing personal. I especially didn't trust her. I couldn't even trust her appearance to stay the same.
It's all in there. Well, Dick,
Slick.
I guess our business is done. I guess this is goodbye.
Goodbye. Another job, come and gone. I didn't get the girl, but at least I got paid. What the? What the? The case was closed, but I couldn't get my mind off it. What would happen to Rosie? Would the Frenchman be successful with his soda business? Would I ever be able to afford a new tie? Maybe someday I will see them all again. I hope so.